In today's world, distractions surround us like waves crashing from every side, notifications, noise, opinions, and endless temptations constantly pulling us away from our true purpose. But the path to mastery begins with one choice: to silence the noise and reclaim your focus. Because when you learn to quiet the outside world, you awaken the power within you. Your attention is the most valuable currency you own, and how you spend it will define who you become. To create transformation, you must learn to sharpen your mind, silence your distractions, and amplify your focus until nothing can pull you off your path. In a world that never stops speaking, silence has become rare. Every moment of our lives is invaded by noise. The buzzing of phones, the chatter of people, the constant flood of information that drowns our ability to think clearly. Yet in this endless chaos lies a truth most people overlook: power is not found in noise, but in silence. Silence is not the absence of sound, it is the presence of clarity. It is the space where the mind regains its strength, where your inner voice finally has a chance to be heard. When you learn to embrace silence, you discover the key to focus, peace, and mastery. Consider how easily people become restless when nothing is happening. A room that is quiet makes most uneasy because they have grown addicted to distractions. They scroll, they swipe, they consume because silence feels uncomfortable. But this discomfort is not because silence is empty. It is because silence is powerful. It forces you to face yourself. It demands that you confront your thoughts, your fears, and your truth. This is why silence feels heavy for many, but that weight is exactly what makes it transformative. In silence, you begin to notice things you usually overlook. The racing thoughts that cloud your mind become visible. The emotions you have buried begin to surface. The patterns of your own behavior become clearer. Silence is a mirror, and though it may show you things you try to hide, it also gives you the opportunity to change. It is in silence that the seed of wisdom is planted, for without stillness, there can be no understanding. Think of a lake. When its surface is disturbed by waves and storms, you cannot see what lies beneath. But when the lake becomes still, its surface reflects everything with clarity. Your mind works in the same way. If it is constantly stirred by noise and distractions, you cannot see your own potential. You cannot hear your own truth. But when you quiet the noise, your inner clarity reflects back at you, and in that reflection, you discover direction. Many people chase productivity without realizing that their lack of silence is what destroys their focus. They mistake business for effectiveness. They believe running faster will help them reach their destination sooner, without realizing they are running in circles. Silence corrects your path. It forces you to pause, to breathe, to realign with what truly matters. The world will always demand your attention, but silence reminds you that not everything deserves your energy. When you learn to filter out the unnecessary, you amplify the meaningful. Silence is also the birthplace of strength. Warriors in ancient times knew this. Before stepping into battle, they trained their minds to be silent, to be unshaken by fear, by chaos, by distraction. Because in silence you cannot be manipulated. You cannot be shaken by the outside world when you have mastered your inner one. When you learn to cultivate silence, your actions no longer come from impulse or fear. They come from clarity and power. The modern world has convinced people that noise is life, that constant activity, endless updates, and instant responses are signs of success. But in truth, this noise is a thief. It steals your focus, your creativity, your peace. And the tragedy is that people willingly hand these treasures over because they have never been taught the strength of silence. But once you taste it, once you embrace the calm, once you see how your mind sharpens in stillness, you will never want to return to the prison of noise. In silence, creativity blooms. The greatest ideas are not born in chaos. They are born in stillness. Breakthroughs come not when your mind is scattered, but when it is calm and focused. This is why some of the greatest thinkers, leaders, and masters valued silence. They understood that silence is not a weakness but a weapon. A quiet mind is not an empty one, it is a focused one, and a focused mind is unstoppable. Ask yourself, when was the last time you truly sat in silence? Not scrolling through your phone, not listening to music, not talking, but simply sitting with yourself. For many, this is rare. Yet this rare practice holds the key to mastery. Imagine what would happen if you gave your mind the chance to recharge every day. Imagine how much sharper your decisions would be, how much stronger your focus, how much deeper your peace. Silence is not wasted time. It is invested time. You do not need hours of silence to transform your life. Even moments of stillness can create powerful shifts. A few deep breaths in silence before starting your day can sharpen your focus. A pause of quiet before responding to conflict can save relationships. A few minutes of silence before making a decision can alter the course of your future. Silence in small doses creates massive impact. So learn to honor silence. Learn to create it even when the world tries to bury it. Wake up a little earlier if you must. Turn off the noise, disconnect, and sit with yourself. Let the world spin in chaos while you stand still in strength. Let the distractions scream while you walk in calmness. Because the one who controls silence controls focus, and the one who controls focus controls life. Silence is not emptiness. It is fullness. It is the space where you meet yourself, where you find clarity, where you reclaim your power. Do not fear it. Do not run from it. Embrace it and let it shape you. For in silence you will hear the voice that will guide you toward greatness. In silence, you will discover the strength to rise and the clarity to conquer. Every human being is born with a seed of greatness inside them. This seed carries the potential for growth, mastery, and transformation. But potential is not guaranteed. It must be nurtured, protected, and expressed through action. Sadly, for most people, this seed never blossoms. Not because they lack strength, not because they lack intelligence, but because they allow distractions to steal their potential. Distraction is the silent thief of life. It does not come in one overwhelming attack, but in small, constant fragments. A notification here, a meaningless conversation there, hours lost scrolling without purpose, energy drained on things that do not matter. One by one, these distractions chip away at your power. They do not just take your time, they take your focus, your energy, your clarity. And when your focus is scattered, your potential remains dormant. Think of your mind as a stream of water. When concentrated and channeled, that stream can cut through rock. It can generate power, it can nourish fields. But when the stream is scattered across many directions, it becomes shallow and powerless. Your life works the same way. The more you allow distractions to divide your attention, the weaker your progress becomes. You may feel busy, but business is not the same as effectiveness. You may feel active, but activity without focus is wasted energy. Distractions disguise themselves as harmless, but they are quietly stealing the strength you need to build your future. The tragedy is that most people don't even realize what distractions cost them. They assume missing a few hours of focus is nothing. They assume indulging in endless entertainment is just relaxation. But every distraction compounds. Every small loss of focus accumulates. Day by day, year by year, distractions add up to a wasted life. And when they finally realize what has been lost, it is too late to reclaim it. That is why discipline is not about denying yourself pleasure. It is about protecting your potential from being stolen. Understand this: every moment you give to distraction is a moment stolen from your dreams. If you say you want to achieve mastery, but you spend your time scrolling, you are feeding your distractions while starving your potential. If you say you want to be strong, but you allow every little noise to shake your focus, you are building weakness instead of strength. Life does not reward what you want. It rewards what you work for. And you cannot work for your destiny if you are constantly serving your distractions. The world is designed to pull your attention away from yourself. Companies spend billions engineering distractions that hook your mind. Every sound, every color, every notification is crafted to keep you trapped. Why? Because attention is power. Whoever controls your attention controls your actions, and whoever controls your actions controls your life. If you cannot master your attention, then someone else already has. That is why the fight against distraction is not just about productivity. It is about freedom. But here lies the truth: distractions only have the power you give them. They cannot enter your mind unless you open the door. They cannot steal your energy unless you hand it over willingly. The discipline to resist distraction is the discipline to reclaim your life. Every time you choose to silence the noise, every time you pull your focus back to what matters, you are building strength. Strength of will, strength of clarity, strength of purpose. Some distractions come disguised as opportunities. They look appealing, they promise quick results, but they lead you away from your true path. Other distractions come disguised as relaxation, promising rest but leaving you more tired. Some distractions come disguised as people, pulling you into drama, gossip, and negativity. And the most dangerous distractions of all come from within. The constant chatter of your own mind, the doubts, the fears, the endless cycle of overthinking. To master yourself, you must learn to recognize all of these forms of distraction and cut them at the root. You may think you are losing nothing by giving in to distraction for just a little while. But remember this: your potential is not lost all at once. It is stolen in pieces. A dream abandoned for a day becomes a habit abandoned for weeks. A habit abandoned for weeks becomes a life abandoned for years. And a life abandoned becomes regret. Distractions are not harmless. They are the difference between a fulfilled life and a wasted one. So, ask yourself honestly, what distractions are stealing your potential today? Is it the endless stream of information that keeps your mind restless? Is it the comfort of procrastination that keeps you from discipline? Is it the noise of people who drain your energy instead of elevating it? Whatever form it takes, you must identify it and silence it. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. Because every moment counts, and every distraction delayed is another step toward freedom. When you eliminate distractions, you create space for greatness. Focus becomes your natural state. Clarity becomes your weapon. Energy flows toward what matters. And when your potential is no longer scattered, it becomes unstoppable. Look at any master, any leader, any person who achieved extraordinary things. Their greatness did not come from doing everything. It came from silencing distractions and pouring their entire being into one purpose. You too have this ability. You too can rise above the noise. It begins with a choice. The choice to value your potential more than your distractions. The choice to protect your focus as if your life depends on it, because it does. The choice to reclaim the energy you've been handing away and channel it into your growth. This is the path to mastery, the path to freedom, the path to becoming everything you were meant to be. Remember, distractions are thieves. They do not take small things, they take everything. They take your time, your focus, your growth, and ultimately, your life. Do not let them. Stand guard over your attention. Treat your focus as sacred, because when you stop feeding distractions, you begin feeding your destiny. And when you protect your potential, you awaken the strength to rise and the clarity to conquer. There is a voice within you that knows the way. It is the voice of clarity, of wisdom, of truth. Yet for most people, this voice goes unheard. It is drowned out by the noise of the world, opinions, expectations, distractions, and doubts. But if you learn to silence the noise and listen deeply, you will find that this inner voice is your greatest guide. It is the compass that always points toward growth, discipline, and freedom. The problem is not that people lack direction. It is that they ignore the direction already within them. They chase the opinions of others. They compare themselves endlessly. They wait for external validation before moving forward. In doing so, they lose connection with the inner voice that was meant to guide them. This voice is subtle. It does not shout, it whispers. And unless you create silence, you will never hear it. Your inner voice is always speaking. It tells you when something is not aligned with your purpose. It warns you when you are wasting your time. It encourages you when you are on the right path. But most ignore it because it is uncomfortable. The inner voice demands discipline. It pushes you to step beyond comfort. It asks you to let go of distractions and face the truth of who you are. And truth, though liberating, can also be confronting. That is why people prefer the noise. It numbs them from hearing what they already know. Think about it. How many times have you known deep down what you needed to do, but you ignored it? You knew you needed to study, to train, to focus, but you chose distraction instead. You knew the relationship was unhealthy, but you stayed anyway. You knew the habit was destructive, but you continued. This is not because you lacked knowledge. It is because you silenced your inner voice and gave more power to noise outside of you. When you betray that inner guidance, you betray yourself. Listening to your inner voice requires courage. It is easier to follow the crowd, to do what everyone else is doing, to live a life of comfort and distraction. But your inner voice will never settle for less than your highest potential. It will always call you toward growth, even when it is uncomfortable. That is why true discipline is not about forcing yourself against your will. It is about aligning with your inner will. When you listen to your inner voice, discipline feels natural, because you are no longer fighting against yourself. You are following the truth that was already within you. Your inner voice is not random. It is the accumulation of your values, your experiences, your deepest truths. It is the whisper of your higher self, the version of you that already exists in potential, guiding you toward becoming who you are meant to be. If you ignore it long enough, you will feel lost, restless, and disconnected. But the moment you return to it, the moment you listen, clarity returns. The path becomes visible. Even if it is difficult, to truly hear this voice, you must create silence. You must disconnect from constant noise. You must spend time alone without distraction, without endless stimulation. In stillness, your inner voice grows louder. In silence, it becomes clear. This is why great masters, thinkers, and leaders often spent long periods in solitude. They were not escaping the world, they were reconnecting with themselves. They understood that the greatest teacher is not always outside but within. But listening is only the first step. The second is obedience. Many hear their inner voice but ignore it. They hear the call to grow, to change, to discipline themselves, but they postpone, they hesitate, they resist. Listening without action is wasted wisdom. Your inner voice is not meant to be admired. It is meant to be followed. Every time you act on it, you strengthen your connection to it. Every time you ignore it, the connection weakens. Eventually, if you ignore it long enough, the voice fades into silence, and all you are left with is confusion and regret. Ask yourself, how much of your life has been guided by your inner voice, and how much has been dictated by external noise? Are you living in alignment with your truth, or are you living in reaction to the world? The difference between fulfillment and emptiness is whether you listen to yourself or not. When you live guided by your inner voice, you walk with confidence because you know your path. You may not have all the answers, but you trust the direction. And that trust builds unshakable strength. Listening to your inner voice also requires honesty. You cannot lie to yourself and expect clarity. You must be willing to admit when you are wrong, when you are afraid, when you are making excuses. Your inner voice will expose these things, not to punish you, but to free you. It will strip away illusions so you can see clearly. And though honesty with yourself can be painful, it is also liberating, because truth is the foundation of growth. The world will always have opinions about you. People will always try to tell you who you should be, what you should do, how you should live. But none of them can hear what you hear inside. None of them carry your exact purpose, your exact path. That is why no external voice can ever replace the inner one. The more you depend on the world for direction, the more lost you become. The more you depend on yourself, the more powerful you become. When you learn to trust your inner voice, distractions lose their grip on you. Doubts no longer control you. The noise of the world fades. Because your focus is rooted in clarity, you begin to act not out of fear or pressure but out of alignment with your truth. This is real freedom, not the ability to do whatever you want, but the strength to do what you know is right. So take time each day to connect with your inner voice. Begin small, through silence, through reflection, through writing, through meditation. Ask yourself questions and listen for answers. Pay attention to the feelings that arise when you consider your choices. Do they bring peace or discomfort? Your inner voice speaks through these signals. Learn to recognize them, and you will never be lost again. Remember this: the world outside can guide you, but only the voice inside can transform you. Do not ignore it. Do not bury it beneath noise. Do not trade it for the comfort of distractions. Your inner voice is your most powerful ally. It will lead you to discipline, to growth, to mastery. And when you truly listen to it, you will find the courage to rise, the clarity to conquer, and the strength to live a life aligned with who you were always meant to be. Focus is one of the greatest powers a human being can develop. It is not merely the ability to pay attention for a short time. It is the art of channeling your entire being toward one purpose. Focus is a weapon, like a blade when sharpened. It can cut through any obstacle, any distraction, any doubt. Without focus, even the strongest warrior becomes weak. But with focus, even the weakest hand can achieve greatness. Most people fail not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they cannot stay focused. Their energy is scattered, their attention is divided, and their life reflects that fragmentation. They want to do everything, so they master nothing. They chase 100 paths, so they walk none with depth. Focus is the difference between being busy and being effective, between living with intention and merely existing. Imagine sunlight. When spread across the surface, it warms. But when concentrated through a magnifying glass, it burns. The same energy, but with focus it transforms. Your mind is like that sunlight. Without focus it is warm but weak. With focus it becomes fire, capable of igniting transformation. The question is, will you allow your energy to remain scattered, or will you sharpen it into a force that changes your life? Focus requires sacrifice. You cannot hold a weapon and carry distractions at the same time. You cannot sharpen your mind while feeding it endless noise. To focus is to choose to say yes to one path, one vision, one purpose, and no to everything else that does not align. And this is why most people avoid focus, because it demands discipline. It demands letting go of comfort, letting go of distractions, letting go of everything that steals your energy without returning growth. But when you commit to focus, your power multiplies. Suddenly, the tasks that once overwhelmed you become manageable. The dreams that seemed distant become reachable. Because focus creates momentum, and momentum builds mastery. What once felt impossible becomes inevitable when you give it consistent, undivided attention. Consider the masters in any field. Athletes, artists, thinkers, warriors. What separates them from the ordinary is not that they were born extraordinary, but that they learned to focus. They poured themselves into their craft with such intensity that distraction could not compete. They sharpened their weapon of focus until it cut through excuses, doubts, and limitations. And that is why they achieved mastery. You too carry this potential, but only if you sharpen your focus. The greatest enemy of focus is distraction. Every time you let your attention be stolen, your weapon grows dull. Every time you indulge in meaningless noise, you weaken your edge. A sword left uncared for will rust. A mind left unfocused will decay. To keep your weapon sharp, you must protect your attention as fiercely as a warrior protects his blade. Guard it against unnecessary noise. Guard it against wasted time. Guard it against the small temptations that steal big dreams. Focus also requires presence. You cannot sharpen your weapon if your mind is stuck in the past or lost in the future. True focus exists only in this moment. Right here, right now, you decide where your energy flows. Too many people waste their strength regretting yesterday or worrying about tomorrow, while the present moment, the only place where change can happen, slips away. Master focus. And you master the moment, and you master life. Focus is also about depth. Many try to move in all directions at once, but they spread themselves so thin that they never reach true progress. But when you dive deep into one path, one goal, one discipline, your growth becomes exponential. Depth is where mastery is found. Focus is the key that unlocks that depth. Without it, you remain on the surface of life. With it, you penetrate the core of your potential. Do not underestimate the simplicity of focus. The world has taught people to chase complexity, to believe success is about doing more, having more, achieving more. But the truth is the opposite. Success is about less, but better. Less distraction, more clarity. Less noise, more silence. Less scattered energy, more concentrated effort. Simplicity is powerful because it sharpens focus, and focus sharpens results. Ask yourself, where is your focus right now? Are you sharpening your weapon daily, or are you dulling it with endless distractions? Are you moving with clarity toward your goals, or are you wandering without direction? Your life today is a reflection of your focus yesterday, and your life tomorrow will be a reflection of your focus today. Every moment, you are either sharpening your weapon or letting it rust. The choice is yours. There will always be temptations pulling you away. Comfort will whisper in your ear. Doubt will tell you to stop. Fear will try to shake your focus. But the weapon of focus is strongest when wielded with discipline. Every time you resist distraction, your focus grows sharper. Every time you return to your purpose, your weapon becomes more powerful. Eventually, nothing can break it. Not noise, not doubt, not fear. When you hold this weapon, life changes. Obstacles no longer stop you, they are cut down. Doubts no longer paralyze you, they are silenced. Opportunities no longer pass you by, they are seized. Focus gives you strength that noise can never match. It gives you control over your mind, and when you control your mind, you control your life. So I challenge you, sharpen your weapon. Train your focus daily. Eliminate distractions, embrace silence, and pour your energy into what truly matters. Do not live scattered. Do not live divided. Choose one path, one purpose, and commit with everything you have, because when your focus becomes unstoppable, your life becomes unstoppable. Remember this truth. Focus is not just a tool, it is a weapon. And when you master it, there is nothing in this world you cannot rise above and conquer. Life is full of choices. Every day, you are faced with countless decisions, some small, some large. But beneath all these choices lies one truth: your life is the sum of what you choose to value. The direction of your destiny is shaped not by what you say you want, but by what you give your time, energy, and attention to. And the reality is simple. If you do not choose what truly matters, life will be filled with noise, distractions, and regrets. Many people claim to want greatness, but they choose comfort. They claim to value discipline, but they choose distraction. They claim to dream big, but they choose habits that keep them small. Words are meaningless unless your choices align with them. What you prioritize daily reveals your true values, whether you admit it or not. That is why choosing what truly matters is one of the most powerful acts of mastery a person can take. The challenge is that most people never stop to ask themselves what really matters. They are so busy reacting to life that they never pause to reflect on their values. They chase what others chase, they pursue what society tells them to pursue, and they end up living a life that is full but empty. Full of activity, empty of purpose. Full of noise, empty of meaning. To avoid this trap, you must slow down, reflect, and define for yourself what matters most. When you choose what matters, clarity enters your life. Suddenly, the distractions that once seemed tempting lose their power. You realize you don't need to say yes to everything, only to the things that align with your highest values. This creates focus, and focus creates progress. Imagine the strength of living each day knowing that your energy is invested only in what moves you forward, not in what holds you back. Choosing what matters requires courage. It means saying no to many things. It means disappointing others at times. It means letting go of shallow pleasures to pursue deeper fulfillment. This is not easy, but it is necessary. Because every yes to a distraction is a no to your purpose, and every no to a distraction is a yes to your growth. Life is a trade, and the question is, what are you trading your time and energy for? There is a difference between what is urgent and what is important. The world will constantly pressure you with urgency, messages that need replying, tasks that feel immediate, noise that demands attention. But most of these things are not important. They feel urgent, but they do not build your future. What truly matters often whispers while distractions shout. That is why so many people chase the loudest demand instead of the deepest value. Mastery comes from recognizing the difference and choosing importance over urgency. Think of your life as a garden. If you do not choose which seeds to plant, weeds will grow by default. If you do not water the plants that matter, they will wither. In the same way, if you do not choose where your attention goes, distractions will take over. And if you do not nourish what truly matters, your potential will die. But if you carefully plant and nurture the seeds of your highest values, your life will flourish with meaning and strength. So what truly matters? This is a question only you can answer. For some, it may be mastering a skill. For others, it may be building strength of character. For some, it may be relationships rooted in truth and growth. For others, it may be the pursuit of wisdom. Whatever it is, it must align with your higher self, not with the noise of the world. The path is not about what is popular. It is about what is true to you. Choosing what matters also requires consistency. A single decision is not enough. You must renew the choice daily. You must remind yourself constantly, does this action align with what truly matters to me? If the answer is no, you must have the courage to walk away. Discipline is nothing more than the daily practice of choosing what matters over what does not. And freedom is the reward of a life lived with such discipline. Look at the masters of life, the ones who inspire. They are not those who try to do everything. They are the ones who chose one path and gave it their all. They sacrificed distractions for focus. They let go of shallow pursuits for deep purpose. They did not live scattered. They lived aligned. And because of this, their impact is remembered long after they are gone. This is the power of choosing what truly matters. You cannot do everything, and you are not meant to. Your strength lies in choosing. If you try to hold on to everything, your hands will be too full to grasp what is truly yours. Let go of what does not matter. Release the distractions, the noise, the expectations that do not serve your path. Make space for clarity, for focus, for purpose. Because only when you let go can you hold on to what truly belongs to you. Every day is an opportunity to choose. Every moment is a chance to align with your purpose. Do not wait for the perfect time. It will never come. Do not wait for permission. It will never be given. Your life is happening now, and your choices today are shaping your destiny tomorrow. Choose wisely. Choose courageously. Choose what truly matters. Remember this truth: your potential is not defined by what you say you want, but by what you consistently choose. If you value your time, your actions will show it. If you value growth, your habits will prove it. If you value mastery, your discipline will reflect it. In the end, your life will be the mirror of what you chose to value most. So rise above the noise. Do not let distractions define your path. Do not let shallow pursuits steal your energy. Stand firm, stay clear, and choose what truly matters. Because when you do, your focus sharpens, your strength grows, and your life transforms into a powerful reflection of your highest self. And that is how you rise and conquer. Your life is the reflection of your focus. Wherever your attention goes, your energy flows, and whatever you give energy to begins to grow. If your focus is scattered, your life will feel chaotic. If your focus is consumed by distractions, your life will lack depth and purpose. But when you learn to amplify your focus, when you channel it fully into what matters, your entire life amplifies with clarity, strength, and power. The truth is simple. You cannot build a great life with a distracted mind. Distraction divides you. Focus unites you. Distraction weakens your energy. Focus multiplies it. Imagine a light bulb, soft and scattered. It glows but cannot cut through darkness. Now imagine that same light concentrated into a laser. It can cut through steel. Your mind works in the same way. The more focused you are, the sharper your power becomes, and the more impossible goals begin to break before you. But amplifying focus is not just about what you gain. It is also about what you protect. Because your focus is under attack every day. Notifications, noise, gossip, entertainment, doubts, fears, all of them compete for your attention. And if you do not master your focus, the world will master it for you. Every time you give your focus to meaningless noise, you are amplifying what does not matter. And whatever you amplify will dominate your life. That is why you must take back control. Amplifying focus begins with awareness. You must first see where your attention is leaking. How many hours are lost on things that do not bring growth? How much energy is wasted worrying about what you cannot control? How many moments are stolen by distractions that add nothing to your purpose? Once you recognize these leaks, you must close them. Do not underestimate the power of small distractions. A single crack weakens the strongest wall. A single leak sinks the largest ship. And small distractions, when multiplied daily, can destroy the greatest potential. Once you eliminate what drains your focus, you must then nourish what strengthens it. Focus is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. Begin with small practices. Silence your phone for a period of time. Dedicate moments to deep work without interruption. Practice being fully present in conversations, in training, in learning. Over time, these small acts of focus compound into unshakable clarity. The more you practice focus, the more natural it becomes, until eventually, it is your default state of being. But amplifying focus is not only about productivity, it is about meaning. Because when your focus is aligned with your highest values, your life begins to feel powerful and fulfilling. Too many people focus on things that are shallow: money, status, approval. Yet they feel empty even when they succeed. Why? Because they amplified the wrong things. True fulfillment comes when you amplify focus on growth, wisdom, mastery, and contribution. When your focus aligns with your purpose, your life becomes unstoppable. There will be challenges along the way. The world will tempt you with endless distractions. Your own mind will try to wander. You will face days when focus feels impossible. But those are the moments that matter most. Because discipline is built not when focus is easy, but when it is hard. Every time you pull yourself back to your purpose, you are strengthening your will. Every time you resist distraction, you are amplifying your focus. And every time you amplify your focus, you amplify your life. Think of a warrior sharpening his blade daily. Each stroke makes the weapon sharper, more precise, more deadly. Your focus is the same. Each day you train it, it grows sharper. And when the time comes to face obstacles, your weapon is ready. You do not crumble under pressure, you cut through it. You do not drown in chaos, you rise above it. Because your focus has been amplified into a force greater than the noise around you. Ask yourself, what would your life look like if you amplified your focus fully? If you stopped wasting time on distractions, if you gave your energy only to what truly matters, how much could you grow? How much could you achieve? The truth is, you already have the strength, you are simply not using it fully. Your potential is waiting, but it requires your focus to unlock it. Amplifying focus also means amplifying presence. Too often, people live half here and half somewhere else. They are with family but thinking about work. They are working but scrolling through distractions. They are listening but not truly hearing. This split attention weakens not only results but also relationships, experiences, and life itself. When you are fully present, even ordinary moments become extraordinary. When your focus is amplified, life feels richer, deeper, more alive. Do not let your days be stolen by distractions. Do not let your life be wasted in fragments. Learn to silence what does not matter and give your full presence to what does. This is how you amplify not just your focus but your existence itself. Because the truth is, the quality of your focus determines the quality of your life. So choose carefully. Choose discipline over distraction. Choose clarity over chaos. Choose depth over surface. When you amplify your focus, you take command of your destiny. You move with intention. You live with power, and you transform your life into a masterpiece. Remember this, the greatest victories are not won by the strongest body or the loudest voice. They are won by the sharpest focus. Amplify your focus, and you amplify everything. Your strength, your growth, your relationships, your peace, your destiny. Your life becomes a reflection of your discipline, your clarity, and your unwavering attention. And with that, nothing in this world can stop you. Life will always test you with chaos, but those who master focus rise above it. Remember, your energy flows where your attention goes. If you feed distractions, they will grow stronger. If you feed your focus, your life will expand beyond limits. Discipline, clarity, and presence are your greatest weapons. Amplify your focus, and you amplify your strength, your growth, and your destiny. The power to transform your life is already within you. It begins the moment you decide to silence distractions and fully commit to your path.